Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Unaffordable Dreadnoughts and to a brand new campaign. So, Rocket, one of the people who does fantastic work on the Dreadnought Improvement Project mod, got to choose this. Because I said, hey, I've tried Denmark and I died. What do you want me to do? So he has suggested Greece. I'm going to start in 1900 so you don't have to see all the 1890s stuff all over again. So it will be, following on from the Danish campaign, effectively. Now, I survived 11 years as Denmark before being obliterated. I'm hoping the Mediterranean is going to be a little bit kinder to me. Standard starting setup for me. This is still not enabled because we don't have a file for it yet. It's going to take the game a hot minute to generate a campaign, but when it does, we can have a look. Greece has the shittest economy in the game, so money is going to be a serious issue. We'll have to have to do our best. Okie dokie, that took a very long time. But campaign generated, that's the main thing. So, Greece has no colonies. We have a relatively concentrated area to defend. We have a nice big port in Piraeus. Main enemies are going to probably be the Ottomans early on. We might find ourselves at war with Austria, Italy, France, Spain, Russia, or the UK, all of which would be bad. Especially the UK. The UK basically stops us from leaving. However, I have been working on the mod, and unlike in the Danish campaign, where 0 is neutral, which is how the vanilla game treats it, I've set neutral to be a relation of 5. That means that none of the enemy's events will trigger, so things should be a little bit more stable. Especially if you're playing a smaller nation, you should be able to avoid people obliterating you too quickly. As you can see here, we have positive relations with absolutely everybody. Nobody is particularly wanting to destroy us. Italy and the UK are quite friendly towards us, so that's all fine. We have a tiny economy of 5.5 million, which is actually better than Sweden and Norway's. But, we are very, 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 very small. What is the Ottoman Empire at? 26. Yikes. They're rocking 7 armoured cruisers. Okay, then. Right. I guess we had better get a design. Wait. I did start in 1900, didn't I? Yeah, I must have done. Okay, good. So, we do have Destroyer 1s. What engine techs do we have? Only multiple expansions. Might be limited to torpedo boats. This is a potentially very interesting ship. It's super wide at its base. Maybe we can trim this bad boy down a bit. That does actually unlock the 4. Hilariously. Which is a little trick you can pull. Is the 4 noticeably better than the 3? Roughly the same size, slightly worse hull form, slightly more stable, slightly more floatability, slightly more resistance. Very teeny, tiny, slightly faster. Let's go with the 3. Actually, no. It's got this break in the quarterdeck. I'm going to stick with my original idea. We're going to go with the 4. Shouldn't really be able to build. We're only going to target 80 knots, but we are going to make it as big as we can, which is not very big. 13,000 tons. So that's that's pretty small, but we can make a semi-dreadnought possibly on this. What guns do we have available? We have Mark 2, 6 and 7s. Everything below 7 is 2. Is a Mark 2. Do we have any Mark 2 big guns? Only 9s. That's not ideal. That would point to armoured cruisers being the main thing. But why don't we build effectively build a flagship, right? Probably based around the 12-inch gun. These enormous guns have such terrible rates of fire. I think that's probably my best bet. Right, towers. Ooh, cage masts. Always terrible. Like, giving you great long-range accuracy in 1900 is pretty useless. So we'll go with... Oh, back to front towers. No. No, we'll go with this one. So that we have a ship. Looks about... That is a weird tower, but okay. Or... I mean, none of these are particularly great. Maybe a... No. No, they are significantly worse. 6 base accuracy is actually okay. Wait, they're different. This one is the front tower flipped. But this one isn't. This one's an actual rear tower. Sort of. Or at least it looks a bit... It looks different from the front tower, that's the main thing. I'm going to go with this funnel because they fit in the gap. Oh yeah, we're on induced. I don't need to be crazy with it. What I do need to do is get my turrets correctly positioned. There we go. Maybe I don't need to run the funnels like that, because this is where I want the towers to be. So maybe we can just run... Let's go 2 funnels. Like that. Yeah, that's looking solid. Casemates 6-inch, because they're the biggest I can fit. Very nice. Those are purely for defensive purposes. Right, we can get Harvey armor. That's pretty nice. Go for the punchiest shells I can get that's not using ballast light, which I find to be rather dangerous. Rangefinder, and we've got plenty of weight left for armor. No, these turrets are not particularly, like the main guns are not going to be particularly effective, especially with that rate of fire, but we just need an anchor for our fleet. Armour. Right, let's assume an enemy battleship is going to rock up with 6-inch guns themselves. Let's go for a 4-inch fore, aft and superstructure. Let's go for 1.5 on the main decks with 0.2 on the fore and aft deck. Let's get as much on the tower as possible. 18 inches. Wow. Inner belt 4 and inner deck 0.2. And then turret armor, 17. Wow. Okay, we fit a lot of armor on these things. 16-inch bar bit. I haven't done the main belt, of course. 4.2. 20-inch main belt. Okay, so obviously that is not practical. Is a 16-inch main belt practical? Probably not. How about an 11-inch gun? What would we need to block that? 14-inch, which would also protect us unless they get very, very close. So I'll accept a 14-inch main belt. We do have maximum bulkheads and pretty good range. I'm going to take some coal out. 152 tons. Could take more coal out. But yeah, that drops it below 6,000. Mind you, we're operating in the mid. We shouldn't need tons and tons of range. And it's something that we can sort out later. I just want a ship that is going to be very hard to deal with. Because a 14-inch main belt with thick 4-inch extra protection, which if I have designed the ship correctly, should mean that only this section here is covered by the 4-inch. And only this section here is covered by the 4-inch. And most of the ship is covered by very thick 14-inch armor, which is going to be tough for someone to go through unless they're bringing the 14 or 15, 14 plus inch guns, I think. Which I think would be a rarity, and even if they do, they have such a low rate of fire. They are extremely hard to get to work. And we should hopefully be able to upgrade these to Mark II 12s pretty quick. I am slightly worried about the cost. Always a problem with Greece. But that is a nice ship. Can we make the casemate armor thicker? 9.6. How about 8? Yeah, let's go with 8. That protects the casemate against any potential secondary gun. Someone would have to be bringing a 9-inch or bigger to be able to take out the casemate guns. So the vulnerability are the torpedo launchers, but I think not including them in 1900 is a bit suicidal. You just want to have that ability to pop a torpedo out and force an enemy ship away from you. Okay. I like it. I don't know how... Yeah. I'm going to have one. My experience with the Danish campaign means that we cannot afford to not... Fuck. We're going to have to build that after the game starts, because we don't even start with enough money to build it. Shitting hell. So this is aspirational. God damn. Right, let's build an armoured cruiser. What do we get? Armoured cruiser 5, that's pretty good. No, it's okay. And we've got the 4. Yeah, I think I prefer the 4 to the 5. Let's put it on a diet. Uh, 18 knots is plenty. Although they can do 21. That would be a bit better. And we want them to be small. 7,500 tons. Which is not, tiny, but it'll have to do. Let's get the towers picked. Guns, we will definitely be going with the 9-inch gun. And then this is going to go right there. That kind of sets the citadel up correctly. At least I'm worried about the cost of these as well. Can we fit a triple? We can! Cool. No casemates. Interesting. Can fit torpedoes on there. Secondary guns. I'm limited to 5s, but yeah, we can fit. Wow, we can fit them in there. That's kind of cool. And then we're going to want pair firing forward. I don't think I can fit 3 pairs in here. Can I? Maybe. Or maybe I can. I can. So that gives us 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 5-inch guns aside. This is looking particularly wacky. And then, do we have spots for 2 inches? Yeah, we do. Just for some anti-torpedo boat firepower. Right, let's make the 5s and the 2s as long as possible. Not that it lengthens them that much. How much money did I have? Because I've got some really nice designs I can't afford to build. Oops, no, stop that. Increased, standard. Ooh, no. Okay, problem is we're going to have to dump the range. I might have to slow the ship down as well because we don't have any armour at all. Especially if I want not the same level as armour as the battleship. But we want a reasonable amount. Yeah, that should just about do. I've gone over already. I've gone over already. Okay, I will accept an 8-inch main build and a 9-inch on the turret. But we are still massively overweight. Fuel being the main one, I've already cut that. Does cutting speed actually get me much? No. The ship might have to get bigger, which means I won't be able to afford it. I love this. This is a fun problem to have. It's like, yep, I have really nice... Yeah, this is going to have to get bigger. This is more like a 9,000 ton ship. And at 9,000 tons... Really, game. You don't bring the fucking turrets with you. At 9,000 tons, this thing is getting chunky. to fill the space. We're still 10% over. Arse. I'm not sure I can build this. It's already getting too expensive. I'm going to have to go for something smaller. What else we got? Semi-armoured cruiser 4. This one could potentially be interesting. How small can we make these? No, they're even bigger. 8,700. I need smaller. AC3. Maybe get an AC3. Yeah, let's try the AC3. This is much less capable though. Very similar to the Danish ones I've built, actually. Annoyingly, I can't put the gun quite where you would want to. It's very slightly too far back. Always something weird with the camera on this hull. You can't, like, get further back from it. It's really weird. Yeah, this is the same. This is the same bloody ship. But the price is a little bit more reasonable so far, anyway. Front and back. 4, 4.5, 0.2, 0.2, 4. Yes. Yes. 0.2, 4. Yes. 1.5. Yes. Yes. 0.2. 6% over. And that's with stupid armor. But without maximum bulkheads. Striker light. Okay, I did say 8 was okay, I think. 8, 9, 4. 4. 3%. Okay. Okay. 3%. I can work with that. I think we need to lose, like, I can make them a little bit bigger, basically. If I make them 6.5. Oh no. Oh. Make them 6.5. The whole ship gets bigger. That's unfortunate. But I can get the gun in the right place. And we gain a casemate slot. Still overweight. Can we go to 6,750? Stop making the ship bigger. Okay. I'm just going to have to lose 50 tons. Shits. Many bulkheads. There we go. Okay. We'll just go many bulkheads. 34 million. 34 million. Oh, Jesus Christ. Again, beautiful ship. Lovely. They'll be very, very good. I know they will. I've seen what a ship like this can do. But expensive. How many of these could we build? 2. Fuck me. Right, let's just get all the designs done, and then I'll figure out the budget. Oh my god. Light cruiser. We don't start with a good light cruiser. We've got a semi-armoured, which is crap. We've got this, which is crap. Destroyer 1, we might... probably won't be able to make this work, because this is very hard to get to work, because it's just too fucking fat. But, you know, I'm going to try. So we're going to get started at just minimum, absolutely minimum everything, 850. Just the very barest of bare minimum. Couple of funnels. A rear tower. Could go with a potentially quite a big gun, 5-inch gun on the front. Let's go with a 5-incher on the back. Couple of torpedo launchers, one here, one here. 88%. I'm going to change that. I'm going to go gap tooth. Hopefully protect that torpedo launcher a little bit. Mind you, 5-inch gun? Yeah, it's not going to be doing nothing. Stick with an all base fuse shell. Okay. Okay, we can make it if we go absolutely bare minimum on absolutely everything. Can I get even a knot of speed out of it? No. These are effectively going to be serving as our CLs. These things are going to die to a stiff breeze. They kind of look like a fishing boat. An angry fishing boat. But it's the best we've got. Okay, so fuck me. Building this is impossible. So we're going to build those 2 Apostolis class cruisers. Really? I'll have a look at the names. I want both of you in our good port. All right, and as many of these. Oh wow, a whole 2. What a fleet! Shitting hell. Right, finances. Max. Start the game. Okay, finances. I can now immediately start building the Canaris. Which is going to cost me a lot of money. We need a battleship, damn it. I should be able to get this up Pretty quick. Get the transport cap to 200%. Place slider hero. I'm going to keep trying to pump out torpedo boats. How much do they cost? Or sorry, destroyers. How much do they cost a month? 800,000. Okay. So once I have the economy looking a little bit better, I will get more destroyers built. But yeah, we're going to have a fleet of 1 battleship and 2 armoured cruisers for quite some time. 3 ships against the Ottomans' 7. The Ottomans are building 18 ships, which is very, very concerning. But yeah, we should have a little bit of a run. Yeah, we should be able to sit back and build ships for a little bit without people coming along and trying to murder us. Hopefully. Maybe. What do the Austrians have? Okay. No battleships. Having a battleship would set us apart, I think. Only the Italians and the French and the British will all have them, I'm assuming. Yeah. But the Ottomans and the Austrians do not. Cool. Well, aside from the budget problems, going okay. That's a good set of starting ships, I think. Is it worth popping a research prio down, getting the Canaris built, and then immediately doing a refit? Probably not. I'm probably best off just leaving the research alone for a bit. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.